All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to move beyond the basic text prompt and unlock a whole new level of creative control with Stable Diffusion. We're talking about taking command of your composition and making the AI put things exactly where you want them.
I'm sure we've all been there, right? You spend all this time crafting this beautiful, detailed prompt for, say, a character on the left side of a landscape, and the AI generates a perfect image, but the character is just dead center. It's a super common frustration, and it's the perfect example of where text-only prompts start to show their limits. So, here's the game plan for how we're going to get that control back. We'll start by quickly touching on the limits of text. Then we'll explore how to control specific regions with prompts, and then how to control the entire structure using images. We'll also cover a couple of common mistakes and talk about your next steps. This is all about the big ideas, no scary technical stuff, I promise.
So text prompts are obviously amazing for defining what you want, the subject, the style, the vibe. But when it comes to layout, they're really just suggestions. You can say, a man on the left, but you can't really force the AI to listen every single time. And to solve that, we need to bring in our first advanced technique.
This is our first big level up moment. Instead of one single prompt for the entire image, what if you could kind of rope off different areas of the canvas and give each little section its own unique set of instructions? Well, that's the core idea behind controlling regions.
And this technique is called regional prompting. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You're basically telling the AI, hey, for this top half of the image, I want you to focus on this prompt, and for the bottom half, I want you to focus on this other prompt. It's a way to build one single cohesive picture from a bunch of different localized instructions.
And the workflow is incredibly straightforward. Step 1, you define your regions. It could be as simple as top and bottom or left and right. Step 2, you give each of those regions its own specific prompt. And then step 3, you hit generate and let the model intelligently blend your different ideas into one picture.
And this example just makes the whole concept click. Imagine telling the model you want a dramatic stormy sky for the top region, but a calm wheat field for the bottom. The result is this single image that has this powerful intentional contrast that will be almost impossible to get right with just a single global prompt.
Okay, so regional prompting gives us amazing control over what goes in a certain area. But what if we need to control the very skeleton of the image, like the exact pose of a character or the precise layout of a room? For that, we need to give the AI a kind of structural blueprint.
And this is where a brilliant tool called ControlNet comes into play. The best way to think about it is like giving Stable Diffusion a stencil or a blueprint to follow. This guide, it could be a stick figure pose or a simple sketch, constrains the structure of the final image, while your text prompt gets to do what it does best, fill in all the details, the style, and the color.
The workflow here is just as logical. You start with a guide image, like a stick figure. Then you choose the right ControlNet model that understands that kind of guide, in this case, one for pose. Then, and this is super important, you still write a detailed text prompt for the subject and style. When you hit generate, the AI creates an image that respects both your structural guide and your stylistic prompt.
And this just shows how incredibly versatile it is. You can feed it a simple stick figure jump and get a hyper-realistic basketball player in that exact pose. Or you could give it a really rough sketch of a room, and ControlNet uses it as the blueprint for a fully furnished, beautifully lit living room. It's such a powerful way to bring a specific vision to life.
So this is probably the most important point to take away from all of this. Think of both regional prompting and ControlNet as extra steering wheels. They give you all this amazing nuanced control over composition and structure, but they don't replace the engine. And that engine is your skill in writing clear, effective text prompts.
Okay, so with powerful new tools, of course, come a few new ways to stumble. So let's just quickly cover a couple of common mistakes to help you get much better results right from the start.
A huge mistake with ControlNet is providing a great guide image, but then getting lazy with the prompt, just writing something like nice picture. That gives the AI absolutely no information to work with. You have to remember, the guide provides the structure, the how, but your text prompt must still provide the content, the what. You still need to describe the subject, style, and lighting.
Now, for regional prompting, the classic error is just trying to do way too much. If you stuff each region with these really long, complex, conflicting prompts, you're just going to confuse the model. The key is to keep each regional prompt concise. Keep it focused on the main element for that area. Honestly, simplicity is your best friend here.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've just covered two really powerful concepts that take you far beyond the limits of a simple text box. These give you an incredible amount of control over your final composition.
So let's just recap the essentials. Regional prompting controls what goes in specific areas. ControlNet controls the overall structure, like a pose or a layout. And most importantly, both of these amazing tools work with a strong text prompt to get the final image, which means your core prompting skills are actually more essential than ever.
So here's a quick little thought experiment for you. You don't even need any software. Just imagine a simple scene, maybe a house under the sun. How would you write a separate prompt for the sky region versus the ground region? Just thinking through that process is a great way to start flexing these new creative muscles.
These tools really open up a whole universe of possibilities, from perfectly composed characters to comic book panels to architectural mock-ups. So the final question is pretty simple. Now that you can command not just the content, but the very space and structure of your art, what are you going to create first? Thanks for watching.